Now, many people living in the west of England are putting off making an appointment with their GP. That's according to results of a survey seen exclusively by ITV. Fears over coronavirus and confusion over new booking procedures have meant 4 out of 10 people questioned admitted they had avoided going to the doctors. And more than 1 in 10 said they thought their GP practice was still closed because of the pandemic. GPs, though, say the results are disturbing as patients may be putting off dealing with problems that need medical attention, and they are stressing that surgeries are still open for patients, as Kevin Ashford reports.
Come in!
Seeing a GP is very different these days because of the COVID-19 pandemic. New systems are in place at surgeries to decide whether patients actually need a face-to-face meeting with their doctor or whether alternatives should be offered. The new way of working, though, does seem to have caused uncertainty about seeing a GP, according to a survey carried out in the west of England. More than 10% of people questioned here thought their GP practice was actually closed. Nearly a third of people surveyed said they were confused about the process for booking a GP appointment. And more than 40% said they had avoided booking an appointment because of fears over coronavirus or because of new booking procedures that had been put in place. GP bodies in the region, though, are stressing that surgeries are open.
There is still access to appointments, albeit it may be in a slightly different way to what people are used to. So my suggestion would be for patients to contact the practice, do that either by telephone or online if they have online capability, and the practice generally will triage the appointment from there to the most appropriate person and into the most appropriate space.
The fact that so many patients might have put off seeing their doctor has caused alarm.
People are storing up medical conditions which may need our assessment, so we would really invite patients to come and present to the GP, knowing that the way in at the moment is first by telephone, by speaking to someone, and maybe by filling in the online web form to provide us with the most information that you can give us so we can really make a really thorough remote assessment of your needs and allocate you to the right healthcare professional to manage your care.
Katia Correa has needed to see a GP a number of times during the pandemic.
I was a bit worried to start off. I wasn't sure how easy it was going to get an appointment if needed one, especially because of my daughter. She's just turned 1. But then since I needed, I called them and it was quite easy to get an appointment, quite easy to get through to them to start off. It was straightforward.
Now, some of the confusion amongst patients might be the result of the fact that there isn't one single uniform system being used by every surgery across the country. For example, different GP surgeries are using different booking apps, and that means the system isn't always seamless at the moment. For example, I've got the NHS app on my phone, but if I try to book an appointment online, it tells me my surgery won't let me. I have to ring them up. The use of technology by GP surgeries was increasing before the pandemic, but for many the lockdown has accelerated that use. The app being demonstrated here is now used by 6,500 GP surgeries around the country. It allows appointment bookings and consultations by video.
If we adopt these tools, we provide the data, the input to the process as patients that goes and helps us getting the right care by the right clinician straight away. And so that way we get away from the doctor by default challenge or problem that we have seen in the NHS for many, many years.
COVID-19 may have changed the way surgeries operate, but GPs say what hasn't changed is the need for patients to get help from their doctors as soon as it's needed. Kevin Ashford, ITV News.
Well, in response to Kevin's report, a statement from NHS England says this poll is, of course, only a snapshot of some people's experience. And in a recent similar survey of people seeking a GP appointment, around half said it was easier or no different to the normal process. Despite the challenges, it goes on to say, of the pandemic, more than 100 million GP appointments were offered during the first wave, half of which were delivered face-to-face, while tripling the number of telephone and digital GP appointments available, and in-person appointments continue to be available to anyone who needs them.